All right, lowest common multiple. Lowest common multiple, oh, where's my pointer thing? Here we go. Lowest common multiple, the LCM. First of all, multiples, if you have multiples of something, you have many, and we have, say, multiples of 10. That's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. Continuous 50, 60. Say you had multiples of, let's do 4. Multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, continues. Okay, so almost like you're counting by that number. That is a multiple. When we look at the lowest common multiple, we're looking for the number that they share in common that is the smallest multiple. So in this case, we're looking across here and we see that 20 is the lowest common multiple of 10 and 4. Okay, again, people are wondering, well, what do you need the lowest common multiple for? The lowest common multiple is often the easiest number that you can use for a common denominator. When you're working with fractions and you have to add them together and they do not share the same denominator, you can convert them, and the number that you want to convert them to would be probably the lowest common multiple, and then you can add them together. You get common denominators based on the lowest common multiple. You can use other multiples, but the lowest common is going to be the smallest and probably most friendly number to go for. Now, you can find lowest common multiple that way. You can also, where's that tree we're working with here? Yeah, you can also look for, show me a different color here. All the numbers that are necessary, if we make a prime factor tree, here's another use for it, the numbers that are necessary to make the prime factor tree. Since I've already highlighted in yellow, I'm going to go over here and highlight down here. To make 24, I needed 3 2s, and I need 1 3. To make the factors of 36 with the primes, I needed 2 2s. I've got that here. And I needed 2 3s. I needed another 3 here. I only had 1 over here. All right, so in terms of this, let's see, pen color is green. Okay, in order to build both of these numbers, 24 and 36, with prime numbers, I needed to have at least 3 2s, because this one needed 3 and this one only needed 2, and I needed 2 3s. Okay, 24 only needs one of them, but 36 needs both of them. So I need one, and that one, and that one in order to build this. If you multiply all these together, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 3 is 24, times 3 is 72. 72 turns out to be the lowest common multiple of these numbers, 24 and 36. We could go back here, 24 and 36, and if you were to just start listing their multiples, well, you start off with 24, 48, and then we have 72. Lost my marker again. 72. Down here we have 36, 72, 108. Well, I can stop though because I see that I've got my 72 right here, and those are the lowest common multiples. So whether you end up using the factor trees here, some people like these and they remember how to find the lowest common multiple and the greatest common factor from them. But if you think you're going to get confused, you might want to simply go back to remembering, well, you've got to create a list here. That's how you find the lowest common multiple. To put the lowest common multiple into use, just give you an example problem. Say you had a couple fractions, 5/24, and they wanted you to add 3/36. Now we just figured out the lowest common multiple of 24 and 36 is 72, right? Right here and here, or back to that prime factor tree here, we pulled out all the factors that we needed to build those two, got 72. So when we look at 24 and 36, we know that we can bring the denominators here up to 72, and we'll be able to add them together. So we know those are a common factor, the least common multiple that they share. Sorry, not factor. 36, if I multiply this fraction here by 2, and over here to get 72, I'll multiply both these numbers by 3. So I get the equivalent fraction 15 70-seconds. I can add 6 70-seconds. There we go. And together we get 21 70-seconds. Can it be reduced? Yes, it can be reduced. We can divide both of these by their greatest common factor, which is 3. So for that, dividing both by 3, we get 7/24. And that's the answer there. Anyhow, that just shows you how the lowest common multiple can be used to find common denominators, which allow you to add these fractions up. Again, it's not something that you typically would just do on your own. It's a skill that we practice, that we become better with working with numbers and manipulating them, so that we can look at a couple of fractions and look at a couple numbers like 24 and 36 and just simply know from past experience and making these lists and practicing these trees, just simply know that, oh, 72 is going to work for these. Worst case scenario, and I would pity the person that had to do this, but you can, in an emergency, take this number, the denominator, and multiply it by this number, and you will get a common denominator out of that that can be used for both fractions.